Imagine being left in the freezing cold, without heat or electricity, just because of a landlord's decision. That's exactly what happened to a blind tenant, whose power and heat were illegally shut off in December, leaving her in unbearable conditions. The court quickly got involved, making it clear that cutting off utilities to force a tenant out is not just cruel, it's illegal. Judge Simpson immediately stepped in when he learned she still had no heat, taking swift action to protect her rights. By the time of the second hearing, her power had been restored, but the drama didn't end there. The landlord's attorney tried to excuse the shutdown, claiming it was a mistake due to multiple units in the building. The judge didn't buy it. He made it clear that the landlord could owe the tenant at least $1,800 in damages for the illegal lockout. An in-person hearing was scheduled to fully resolve the issue, and throughout the case, the landlord's lack of sympathy for the blind tenant, even amid unpaid rent, stood out, showing a stark contrast between basic human decency and negligence. This story is a stark reminder that tenants have rights, and illegal evictions or utility shutoffs can't go unchecked. The court's intervention ensured justice for someone who was left powerless, literally and figuratively, highlighting the importance of protecting vulnerable individuals in housing disputes.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay, it's okay. The plaintiff's attorney is not here. I guess they're saying he signed in, but hasn't signed back in. You're here. Are you moving to dismiss this case, ma'am?
what does that entirely mean?
That means this case would be over at least.
Does that mean that I would need to be served all over again?
Well, they'd probably have to start over. They'd have to serve you with something.
Okay. Then yes, I would like to dismiss.
Case dismissed.
Thank you
That's
so
without
much.
prejudice. They may come back and they may try to do something, but they'll have to. They'll at least have to try to start this case over and move to set it aside. But you'll get an opportunity
Okay.
to be heard if that happens. Okay.
Okay, moving forward, what do I do now?
What do you mean?
Do I stay put? Can I tell you about the case or?
No, you can't tell me about it. But yeah, you can stay
Okay.
where you are because I'm not signing. This case is dismissed, so I'm not signing any orders telling you have to do anything.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a great
Do you have
New
any
Year.
advice about, I'm sorry, do you have any advice about how I should move forward?
No, I can't
Oh,
give. I can't give you legal advice.
okay, what about the fact that the power has been turned off prior
Excuse
to
me?
ever receiving any paperwork? There
Hold on
is
a
no
second,
power
man.
in this.
Okay, hang on. I may vacate my dismissal on this, but hold on. You. All right. Are you sight impaired, ma'am?
Yes,
Okay, and you're telling me now that the heat is off?
yes,
electricity?
on December 19th, before ever receiving any warning, they completely turned the power off, and I've been living here with no power since then.
Your goodness. So do you have a lease there? I do see it. Hold
Yes,
on. Okay, your lease expired, it looks like. Are you there by yourself, ma'am, or?
I have my best friend that's here that helps me with my vision.
Got it.
He's present.
So you've been without electricity for
Just about a
since the
week, and
19th?
yes, and that's actually about 2 months ago. My landlord turned off the power in the back of the house, which was what the room that I was renting out. So I had to move my bed out to the kitchen area because that was where she just got half of the power. So I had to move into the living room area to stay warm. And then now on the 19th of December, she fully cut off all the power. So
Um, was she supposed to? I'm trying to look through your lease real quick. Is it up to her utilities? Hang on. So you're sure she shut it off?
Yes. Um, I'm not, I asked her about it and she was coy. So I don't know how I could prove that it was her giving, I don't have proof of it being specifically her.
Okay,
But there's
let's do.
people that live above me that they have power. It's just the bottom part of the apartment that has been shut off. So this whole
Okay,
building is not completely without power, just where I reside.
I got you. So here's what I'm going to do, ma'am. I'm going to vacate the dismissal. I'm not going to dismiss the case. Okay, because you can't continue like this, and it's about to get very cold out there soon.
Okay.
I'm going to. Here's what we're going to do. Their attorney signed in, but then signed out.
Okay.
So, I don't want to put you out to the 10th, which is my next date, with the circumstances as you're explaining them. Follow
Okay.
that? So,
Yeah.
what I want to do. So, what's my. Okay. I want noon. Yeah. So, here's what I want you to do. I want you to sign back on at noon today.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to try to get to the attorney in this to tell him that we want to see him here at noon today.
Okay.
And let's see if we can get some of that resolved. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So sign back on at noon. I'm not dismissing your case at this point. Sign back on at noon. We'll get the attorney here and see what we can do. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Have a good
You're
New Year.
welcome. You're welcome. We'll talk to you at noon. Okay. Take
Okay.
care.
Thank you. Brianne, Portia?
Yeah,
Mr.
I apologize for this morning. I was having technical difficulties. I did become aware of what occurred, and I believe I have rectified that situation. I need to get confirmation from Brian or the tenant. Has there been any change since this morning, Brianna?
Yeah, it's Brianne. Yes, thank you. The power is back on. Thank you so much for that. It's
Okay, so the
life-saving.
power is back on. Well, I'm going to have to ask the question so that we know. I would certainly just didn't go ahead. I think this was going to be dismissed, right? It was going to be dismissed. However, the real question for the court becomes.
I can't read what you put in the chat.
It's okay. It's okay, ma'am. What was in the chat? What? I'm not sure what got put in the chat, but it was somebody else. Okay.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's okay. Here's what the issue is. Who shut off the electricity?
I would have the understanding that it is in the landlord's name. And there are a couple units in that property, and I think the wrong one got turned off. And it was never brought to the attention that it was her specific unit.
Honor, may I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
I reached out to my landlord and I did get a response. So she was aware that the power was cut off the day after. I technically did not even receive my summonings because, like I told you previously, I have a partner here that helps me with my vision. And when I was supposedly served my summonings, I technically wasn't even served. They knocked on the door and I wasn't available, and they threw the paper at my partner.
Okay.
And,
all right. I'm not going to worry about that. Here's what I'm
right.
getting at. I guess I was getting at. Mr. Drukas, I'm
Yes,
not going
John?
to dismiss this. I'm going to set this over to the 10 because it may, and you may want to have your client and attempt to try to negotiate it. But if she's without power for those 9 days, your client may very much owe about $1,800 minimum to the defendant.
The, is there any way that we can address escrow in the interim? Because this was a lease that ended back almost 6 months ago, or in August. And there have been no payments that have
I
been
asked
made.
for a bill and
Hold
I was never
on,
received.
ma'am,
Yes,
stop.
sir.
There's been no payments.
Yeah, there's been no payments for
Well, how much is the monthly rent?
the monthly rent is at 500.
So 500. And so how much is plaintiff claiming she owes?
Currently, we have a balance at 3480.
3480.
Correct.
Okay, well, I'm not going to have to put anything into escrow at this point because the issue is going to be your client may well owe her about 1,800 of that.
Okay.
And that's the floor of it under the lockout statute. So I mean, she may indeed end up owing her more. So why would I have her pay escrow at this point in time? So
Well,
I'm
it would
not
be-
dismissing the case. We're going to resolve this issue or figure out how we're going to resolve this issue. I'm going to set this over to January 10th, 2025 at 2 p.m. in person.
Thank you, Aaron.
Your Honor, where is this located?
At the service center by the Washtenaw County Jail, you know where we are, Hogback and Carpenter.
I'm sorry, what name? Hardback?
Hogback and Carpenter.
Hogback, okay, and Carpenter. I am
Well,
familiar with that.
if you say Hogback like that, then that means you don't know where you're going because everybody around knows where Hogback is. So here's
I'm not,
all right.
I'm not from here. I just moved here, so.
Okay, no, and I can tell when you said Hogback. Okay, yeah, it's here. It's over by the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Department.
Okay,
Okay, you want me to give you the address would be 4133 Washtenaw.
okay, you got that. Okay, thank you so much.
Not a problem. We'll see you there.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead. What?
What will I need to go to? How do I don't know what. So I go there. Do I need anything?
What I've heard today, you just need to get here to the court hearing. We're going to try to flush out what we can flush out.
It's the middle of winter, and temperatures are dropping well below freezing. Imagine waking up one morning, in your own home, only to find that there's no heat and no electricity. For most of us, this would be a nightmare, but for a blind tenant, it became a harsh reality. She relied on her landlord to provide safe and basic living conditions, yet in December, the landlord made a shocking and illegal decision. They cut off her power and heat, leaving her in dangerously cold conditions, vulnerable and alone. The story begins with a seemingly simple dispute, but it quickly escalates into a tense courtroom drama, one that reveals the serious consequences of landlord negligence and the importance of tenant rights. When the case came before Judge Simpson, it was clear that this wasn't just about unpaid rent or a misunderstanding, it was about the law, about human decency, and about ensuring that no one is forced into unsafe living conditions. Judge Simpson immediately recognized the severity of the situation. He understood that cutting off utilities to a tenant, especially someone who is blind, is more than just irresponsible, it's an illegal eviction. This type of action is explicitly prohibited, and the court's responsibility is to prevent such abuses. From the very beginning, the judge showed urgency and concern, making sure that the tenant's needs were prioritized and that the landlord could not simply dismiss the situation. By the time of the second hearing, there was some relief. The tenant confirmed that her power had been restored, A small victory in a case that highlighted just how fragile the safety and rights of tenants can be when landlords act without accountability. But the drama continued. The landlord's attorney attempted to explain the shutdown as a mistake, claiming that with multiple units in the building, it was somehow confusing who should have had power. This excuse, however, did little to lessen the seriousness of the offense. It was clear to the court that negligence or not, leaving a vulnerable person without heat in the middle of winter is unacceptable. Judge Simpson made it clear that the landlord could owe the tenant a minimum of $1,800 in damages, a figure that reflected the court's recognition of the hardship endured. Beyond the financial implications, the case became a lesson in human responsibility and the consequences of ignoring the law. The landlord's lack of sympathy for the blind tenant, even in the face of unpaid rent, drew attention to a broader issue: the importance of empathy and the moral obligations that come with providing housing. As the case unfolded, the court scheduled an in-person hearing to fully resolve the matter. This step was crucial, ensuring that the tenant had the opportunity to have her grievances fully heard and that the landlord could be held accountable for actions that went far beyond routine landlord-tenant disputes. The courtroom became a space where justice was not just a word, but a tangible force, protecting someone who had been left in a dangerously powerless situation. Throughout the hearings, the story captured more than just legal arguments. It revealed the personal struggle of a tenant trying to survive in a home that should have been safe, the determination of a judge unwilling to allow injustice to continue, and the stark contrast between lawful responsibility and reckless neglect. Viewers are reminded that rights exist for a reason and that the law serves as a safeguard for those most vulnerable in society. This case also raises questions about accountability and ethics. Landlords wield significant power over the lives of their tenants, and when that power is abused, the consequences can be devastating. In this instance, it wasn't just about money or a misunderstanding, it was about ensuring that basic human needs, heat, electricity, and safety, are respected and protected. The court's actions serve as a powerful reminder that the legal system can and must intervene when those in positions of authority fail to meet their obligations. The story doesn't end with the restoration of power. It continues with the lingering impact on the tenant, the lessons learned by the landlord, and the broader message to all tenants: your rights matter, and there are legal protections in place to ensure your safety. It emphasizes the importance of vigilance, of speaking up when mistreated, and of trusting that the system, when properly engaged, can provide justice. In a world where such cases often go unnoticed, this courtroom drama stands out. It reminds viewers that justice is not always immediate, but when enforced with integrity, it can make a profound difference in someone's life. The tension, the legal arguments, and the ultimate resolution combine to create a story that is both compelling and instructive, highlighting the intersection of law, morality, and human dignity. By following this case, viewers can appreciate the complexities of landlord-tenant law, the critical role of the judiciary, and the courage it takes for individuals to assert their rights. The blind tenant's perseverance, combined with Judge Simpson's decisive action, ensures that justice was not only sought but achieved. It's a story that resonates far beyond a single courtroom, reminding everyone that the law exists to protect, to correct, and to uphold basic human decency. This case will likely remain a reference point for similar disputes, a clear example of what happens when basic rights are ignored, and a testament to the importance of standing up against unlawful treatment. It's a reminder that tenants are not powerless, that courts can act decisively, and that even in the coldest of circumstances, justice can warm the lives of those who fight for it. Ultimately, this story is more than a legal battle. It's about resilience, fairness, and the recognition that every person deserves to live in safety and dignity. The blind tenant's experience sheds light on the challenges faced by vulnerable populations and reinforces the vital message that the law is not just rules on paper, It is a living, breathing protector of people's rights.